بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم كلا إن الإنسان ليطغى أن رآه استغنى أرأيت إن كذب وتولى ألم يعلم بأن الله يرى.
Peace be upon you. Welcome to the way to God.
First and foremost of all the witnesses is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah Azza wa Jal, who knows what we conceal and He knows what we reveal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who can see the footsteps of a black ant on a black stone on a black night. Allah Azza wa Jal is the first and the most important of the witnesses over our deeds. For that reason, when Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was asked about the highest level of Iman, he said the highest level of Iman is ihsan, and it is to and ta'bud Allah ka'annaka tarah, that you worship Allah as if you can see Him. But if you can't do that level, then at least remember that Allah sees you. How many of us even remember Allah Azza wa Jalla while we're showering? Remember to be ashamed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From amongst the early Muslims, there was a righteous man by the name of Hatim al-Asam, and he used to study with his teacher, with some other young students, and he used to be treated better than the other students. So one day the students complained. They said, "You treat Hatim better than the rest of us." So the teacher, to prove to them that they're not on equal level, one day he brings each one of them a chicken. He gives every student a chicken, and he says, "Go where no one can see you and slaughter the chicken." And they all came back with the animal slaughtered except for Hatim. So he asked him, "Why didn't you slaughter the chicken?" He said, "You told me to go where no one could see me, and everywhere I went, Allah could see me." How many people remember this? When they're told, make sure no one sees you, how many people think of Allah Azza wa Jal? But people only think of other human beings seeing them, other human beings walking in upon them, and so they lock doors, they close windows, they turn off lights, they make sure there are no cameras, and they don't care that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching. The most important of all the witnesses. And for that reason, the early Muslims, they used to say, do not look at how small the sin is. لا تنظر إلى صغر المعصية ولكن انظر إلى عظمة من عصيت. Do not look at how small the sin is, but look at the greatness of the one that you're sinning against. If we could only do that, brothers and sisters. It's not about the sin you're committing, it's about who you're committing it in front of, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the fact that they don't care that Allah is watching them and looking at them while they're committing the sin, that could be worse than the sin itself. The fact that they're doing it and they don't care that Allah is watching them can be worse than the sin itself that they're committing.
We are not ashamed of Allah, my brothers, except the ones whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserved. We are not ashamed of disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're not ashamed of Allah's sight. We're not ashamed of Al-Raqib. This is why you will feel comfortable watching something haram behind closed doors and no one can see you. Wallahi, if someone enters the room, straight away you will turn off what you're watching. Straight away you will end the conversation. But if you are safe and secure and you know no one will come now, no one will see me, no one will expose me, we do not mind Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala seeing us. How can a person claim that he knows Al-Raqib subhanahu wa ta'ala if he is not ashamed from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when he's in solitude, when he is alone? You disobey Allah, a person committing adultery or zina hides behind closed doors. He hides from the eyes of people, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can see him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching him. How can someone disobey Allah when his heart is full of faith and iman, Allah is watching me. How can that be the case? How can that be the case when someone steals something? No one can see him, but he knows Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is seeing him. When you pray in jama'ah, when you pray in front of people, is your salat the same salat you pray alone? When you wake up late for Fajr one day and no one can see you, and work starts in an hour and a half, and you need to pray quickly and get a short nap before you go to work. That Fajr salat you pray, or the sunnah of Fajr you pray at home, is it the same salat? Are you doing the same actions, the same movements exactly? Are you standing before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when people see you? You will find change, majority of us. You will find your heart changing. You know what this is a sign of? It's a sign that this young man, that this young woman does not know Ar-Raqib. Because he who knows Ar-Raqib, people are not a factor in his equation. He does not care what they think. He is worried about Allah, and Allah is with him when he is in public and when he is in solitude. Allah is with you when you're alone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can see you, can see through you. The thoughts that go through your heart, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala know them. Our young men, our young youth, we all know, mashallah, in our time, relationships that we have. Every young man wants to start something, a love story. He wants to follow the footsteps of Romeo. He starts a relationship, illegal, behind the girl's parents. He will start talking, chatting, very, very widespread. He will hide from his parents. He doesn't want his friends to know. He doesn't want to be exposed. He doesn't want her parents to know. She doesn't want her parents to know. But little that they know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching them. Wallahi, if they knew Ar-Raqib, wallahi, if they knew Ar-Raqib subhanahu wa ta'ala, they will not be able to